Hey student, watch this video and understand why you are afraid of speaking English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thank you so much for joining me on another English lesson. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Make sure to subscribe because from Monday to Friday, I have many different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. Yes! Tonight we are going to be talking about why you are afraid of speaking English. This is something that every now and then, students send me messages, emails, comments, direct messages on Instagram, and this is a common question. Now, guys, the first thing you need to understand is speaking is not a habit. I mistyped the number one, but speaking English is not a habit, okay? Not this. Speaking is not a habit for you. Think about it. You wake up every morning. You brush your teeth. Every day you do repetitive tasks. Every time you try something new, your brain goes into defense mode, okay? So going back to the title, speaking is not a habit. Speaking English is not a habit. Habits are things we do every day, are things that we do for a very long time, and after some time it becomes automatic, okay? So it's something that you do automatically. You don't need to think. You don't need to feel emotions to do it. That's why I said every day you wake up, you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you take a shower. You don't think about those activities. You just do them, okay? Now, whenever you try something new, your brain panics a little, okay, because it's new. Your brain doesn't have any previous experience, so that is new to your brain. Your brain gets a little defensive. It doesn't like it, so it goes into defense mode, okay? For English speaking to become easier, less frightening, less scary, this needs to become a habit, okay? So many students come here on my channel and they say, oh, I listen every day. I watch movies every day. I watch your videos every day. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But then when I say, okay, do you practice speaking consistently? Then the answer is no. Like, speaking? No, I don't practice. I don't have a routine. It's not a habit, okay? And we'll talk more about that. The reason why you need to make English speaking a habit is exactly to do the same thing that your mother or your father or your caregiver did to you when you were a child. It educated your brain to consider a new activity a habit, a routine. Today, you're not afraid of doing many things anymore because you were doing them consistently. And this is something I can share with you guys. When I started making live videos on YouTube, I felt extremely nervous. My heart skipped a beat, not in a positive way. My hands were sweaty. I forgot things. If I made a mistake like this in the title, speaking this is not a habit, speaking English is not a habit, I would feel so bad and so worried and so tense. But after doing live videos for more than a year, from Monday to Friday, dude, I'm fine. I'm okay. Eventually, occasionally I get a little nervous depending on the comments people make in the live chat. Sometimes there's always there's sometimes, not always, there's sometimes, someone who may make a strange comment or a comment that is disrespectful. But all in all, I educated my brain. Hey, going live. It's okay. You'll be fine. You will forget some words. You will get a little nervous, but you will be okay. Take it easy. Those people like your lessons. You can help them. I built this, okay? So you need to nurture a speaking routine, whether you have someone or not, whether you speak correctly or not. This needs to become part of what you do every day. Just as you wake up and you do something repetitive, you know, like every day on repetitive mode, just as you watch my videos very frequently, it has become a habit to you, just as you study vocabulary every day and it became part of what you do in English. You need to find a way to nurture a speaking routine. If you wait, and this happens to many English students, if you wait to have the perfect scenario where you don't make mistakes, or where you travel abroad, or where you have a teacher, you may never build up the confidence you need, because speaking is a habit. And habits take time to build. And I could share many experiences that I've had with students from different countries. And more recently, I had a new student contact me, and she had been studying abroad, but she wasn't learning. And she had a teacher, a native speaker. She was going to school every day, and she was not learning. She was not speaking. She was not feeling good about her English. So if you wait the perfect scenario where everything is aligned exactly with the way you believe you should do things, you will never build the speaking habit you need. As I have shared with you guys several times, I'm studying Italian. Now I have someone to practice speaking, but I didn't have this before. And I built for about 7 months. Yes, for about 7 months, I went from zero, from nothing, and I practiced speaking every week. I have an audio diary, and I can show you pictures, because in this diary, I have audios that are from last year when I started. Okay, I have audios from August, because I started in August 2019. Yes, I have audios from August. And every month there are audios that I recorded, answering questions, practicing describing my last weekend. The same things I tell you guys to do is exactly what I do. Okay, and here right now I am practicing my speaking because I am talking to you guys. Yeah, check. So I always find a way to practice. Okay, now are my Italian audios correct? I have no idea. But that's not my main goal. My main goal is to build the habit of speaking in Italian. I am practicing, I am educating my brain that when I study Italian, I have to practice speaking. Even if it's a short answer, even if it's to just read something aloud with my voice, I need to develop this habit. And then my brain will feel comfortable, will feel like, oh, this is something Priscilla always does. She's always trying to speak in Italian. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it now. Okay? So this is what I call habit building. If you don't do that, it doesn't matter. You will always struggle. You will always feel afraid, especially if you study alone. If you study alone, you will need to develop this kind of routine because you don't have anybody. And it's okay. When I learned English, I didn't have anybody either. And I learned and I spoke English. And I learned so well that in 6 months that I was studying English without any knowledge, the school invited me to work there because my results were just simply different, okay, unusual. So what I did was, I don't have a high IQ, okay, guys? I'm not like extremely intelligent. I'm an ordinary person. But what I did was, I understood that if I wanted to speak, I had to practice. And this is something that I do since I was young. I always practice talking to myself. Recording my voice. I didn't have a recorder, but I practiced speaking. And this is interesting because one day I remember this. I was having a conversation with my father, and he told me that he heard me speaking, and he told me a story about his brother, that when he was young, his brother wanted to be a lawyer. So he read law books. Unfortunately, he didn't become a lawyer. He passed away. Many things happened. But he said that he would read the books and he would record himself reading the books and explaining the things he understood. And I was like, wow, look at Uncle. He did that, and I'm doing that too. So you see, since the very beginning, I realized that I needed to make speaking a habit, or I would never overcome the fear of speaking, because it is real, it exists, because the brain is afraid of new things. The brain doesn't like new things. The brain is lazy, okay? Sorry to break it to you. The brain, it is its automatic response. New? No, thank you, okay? Now, you worry too much about making mistakes. Guys, at the end of the day, no matter how advanced you are, you will always make mistakes. I make mistakes. My best friends who are teachers make mistakes. You are native speakers make mistakes, okay? They make grammar mistakes, vocabulary mistakes. So mistakes happen. What happens to a non-native student, a non-native speaker, is that they worry too much about the mistakes they make. They are constantly thinking about the mistakes, and they can't think about anything else. So the difference between you guys and a fluent speaker is that they understood that they can't focus on the mistake, or they will never speak. They will never speak English, because if they focus too much on the mistakes they make, they will never get better. They will always stop. They will always give up. They will always feel afraid, because fear makes people quit. Fear makes people lose motivation and makes people want to stop, okay? Fluent speakers don't focus on mistakes. They focus on what they can do to talk. They do their best. See, they do their best to talk, to speak English. Speaking, guys, is like a mind game. If you worry too much, your brain cannot clear space for you to communicate. You won't remember things easily. Everything will get very foggy because you are too stressed out. And when we become too stressed out about something, we can't remember information. So this is probably happening to you, okay? Don't worry so much about the mistakes you make. Focus on talking. What can I remember? What words come to my mind? And go and do it, because that's what matters at the end of the day, okay? When I am in this kind of situation and I need to be fast and talk to someone, I don't focus, oh my God, I mispronounced that word. Oh my God, I'm a teacher. I can't. No, I'm talking. I need to be fast. I need to say what comes to my mind. So that's why I say speaking is a mind game. Or you learn to control your emotions, or they control you. And when I say control emotions, I'm not saying that you need to do this in an aggressive way. Oh my God, I need to be Superman. I don't have emotions. No, people are human beings. We have emotions. But you need to learn to manage this, okay? If you're looking for perfection, don't study a language. If you're looking for perfection, actually don't study anything, because there isn't such thing as perfection. Mistakes will happen. And the sooner you accept that, the easier it'll be, okay? Your journey will be easier. It'll be lighter, okay? And hey, if you're enjoying this video, how about hitting the like button, my friends? And if possible, don't be afraid. Share this lesson with your friends. I think there are many people who should be watching this video, who should really receive this message that, you know, there are ways, there are things you can do to overcome your fear, and you need to understand why you were feeling afraid, okay? Moving on to the next explanation. You don't have vocabulary strategies. Now, this is something that happens to many students. Guys, I'm a fluent speaker, okay? I'm not a walking dictionary. I don't know all the words. Actually, I don't know many words. You know, when I was preparing for a Cambridge examination, I met this guy who had amazing vocabulary. His vocabulary was incredible. I was jealous because I was a teacher and I didn't know as many words as he did, but he couldn't use them. He was too afraid all the time. He constantly forgot things. And he looked at me and he said, wow, I would like to have your English. And I looked at him and I said, wow, I would like to have your vocabulary. We're never happy with what we have, okay? But what he was jealous was he didn't have the strategy that I did. When I didn't know a word, when I didn't remember a vocabulary, an expression, or when I didn't know the perfect phrase to describe something. Because if you sit for Cambridge, you need to use more advanced structure, okay? And if you don't use very advanced structure, vocabulary, you don't get so many points, okay? Your score is not so good for speaking, for writing. But in my case, since I was a beginner, since I was a basic student, I developed vocabulary strategies. This is also something that I teach in my online English program, the Real English Academy. And it's a simple thing that you have to be excuse me, I'm talking too much. I'm excited about this. This is something I teach my students to do in the academy, and I teach them consistently, which is you need to learn to explain words. I don't want you to just know a word. I need you to learn to explain that word and find a workaround, okay? I will need to end this video very soon because my throat is funny. Anyway, there will always be a word you don't know. As I told you the story about my friend who had an incredible vocabulary list. He was really good, but he didn't have this flexibility of having a conversation and not getting stuck when he didn't know the best word, or when he didn't remember the perfect word that he knew. Okay, so you need to learn strategies, techniques. These are techniques. It's not, oh, it's a feeling. No, it's a strategy, okay, that will help you in conversations when you don't know how to say something. And it's not just, usually students panic. They're like, oh my God, I don't know. It's like, no, keep going. How can you simplify? I always tell my students, when you don't remember a word, you're trying to complicate your explanation too much. English is simplicity. Communication is simplicity. When I'm watching a video from someone and that person complicates too much the message, I can't finish, because communication is simplicity. Helping people is simplicity, okay? Why do so many people give me the feedback that, Priscilla, I watch your lessons, I understand? Because I'm simple. I want you to understand the message and use it. So if you are in a conversation and you don't know the word, make it simple. Think as a child. How could a child say this in a very basic way? That's how you should start, okay? And finding alternatives to describe the things you want. And then when the pressure is over, when you are studying, then you can try to find different words to explain what you want. So maybe I'm here, I'm giving you a lesson, and then I think about something and I'm like, but I don't know how to say this. Okay, simple. After I'm finished, then I will go and I will check, what did I want to say? And then I learn. So you see, there's always an opportunity to learn. There's always an opportunity to improve your vocabulary, but it's not at the time of the game on situation. It's not the moment. So if you don't study vocabulary strategies to help you when you are under pressure, then you will always have this fear. You will always be worried that you will not know the words. And the truth is, you will never know all the words because there's no such thing. I speak Portuguese. I'm Brazilian. I'm a fluent Portuguese speaker. And I have this friend. He is amazing, okay? I love him, my best friend. And sometimes he uses very difficult words in Portuguese, okay? And then I look at him and say, Chi, what's this? I don't know. Because it's difficult. I don't know the word, okay? So I'm a native Portuguese speaker, and I sometimes don't know words. Sylvia's watching the video. Sometimes Sylvia's a lawyer and she uses very complicated words. And I'm like, what? What's that? And it's my language. So this happens in English too. If you speak English to someone and you use very complicated language, they'll be like, in English, please? because we don't know all the words in English, okay? That are very complicated words. So you need to establish a way that you need the mindset, okay? How can I simplify this phrase that I want to say? How can I simplify this story, okay? Maybe you have the best vocabulary ever in your language. Don't bring that to English. That's not going to happen, okay? Very nice, my friends. Now, can you overcome your speaking fear? Yes, of course you can. I love live lessons because then I start coughing. I think I really need to drink water. And I don't have my water here. Okay. So guys, I believe you can. You can overcome your speaking fear. But you need to change your speaking habits, okay? If you don't have any speaking habits, you are not going to improve, okay? It's not just about sitting down and reading or just watching my lesson. You really need to pick up the phone and answer. Look at the mirror and answer. Record yourself and answer a question and describe something. I feel so happy when I am on Facebook groups, English Facebook groups, and I see people making videos. Hey guys, I want to share this with you. I'm studying and I'm trying to learn, so tell me what you think. This is amazing. He's practicing. Good for him. Good for them, okay? Another thing that is important is you need to work on your limiting beliefs. What is a limiting belief? It's something that you believe, okay? But that thing you believe is stopping you. That thing you believe is negative. That thing you believe is limiting, is causing limitation in your life, in your success, in your results, okay? So to change your belief, you need to understand where that belief comes from, okay? Many people who study alone believe they can only speak if they have someone. This is a limiting belief. If you keep believing this, you will never improve your English, okay? Because in reality, guys, I know people who learn just by watching videos. Okay, when I learned, I studied, I used different skills. I believe that it's more productive, but I know people who only learned reading, only doing grammar exercise. So anything is possible. Don't let these beliefs control you and stop you, okay? Of course, you need to become more understanding of your limitations, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to know if you don't know all the words in the world, but find ways to encourage your journey, to make you feel motivated about your journey. Finding good online English courses that will help you in the process. These are things that you can do, okay? Maybe you don't have the money to pay for a private teacher, but how about studying online, finding a good program that will keep you on track, that will help you build the habit of studying English, of practicing your English. I think there are always different things you can do, okay? Now I'm not thirsty anymore. Anyway, my friends, do you have problems speaking English? Let me know in the comments. And again, I ask you to support the channel and share this lesson with your friends. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.